So let's get started with our first case study. So this is the data set which has three columns: manager ID, job ID, and as of date. So this data set basically store all the details whenever a manager posted a job on the company's career webpage for the candidates. So for example, for manager ID 1, he or she has posted three jobs with job ID 100, 101, and 102. And as of date, basically when they have posted that job. So for example, job number ID 101 has posted on 31st of January, whereas job ID 102 has been posted on 3rd of September 2021. Similarly, for manager ID 3, they have posted three jobs, 105, 106, 107 with their respective dates. Now, based on this data set, we have three follow-up questions. So let's get started one by one. So the first question it's asking is find the total count of new jobs and active jobs. So the definition of new job is whenever any manager posted their first job is called a new job. So for example, for manager ID 1, job ID 100 will call it as a new job because that's the first job he or she has posted. Similarly, for manager ID 2, 103 is their first job will be labeled as a new job. Now, active job. So the active job is whenever any manager posted their next job after their first one. So for example, for manager ID 1, job number 101 and 102 will be called as an active job because that is their second and the third job. Similarly, for manager ID 2, 104 will be called as an active job. And for manager ID 4, there is no active job for the manager ID 4 because he or she has posted only one job, which is 108, and that will be labeled as a new job. Now, in order to find total count of new jobs and active jobs, so the way I'm thinking to use the concept is that so whenever manager posted their first job is always called as a new job. Or in other way, I can say that total count of distinct manager is equal to total count of new jobs. And in order to count the total active jobs, I can say that, hey, find the total count of records in the data set and then subtract the total distinct count of manager, which basically will give you the count of active jobs. So let's see on the SQL server, how can we write the syntax for it. So let's first see what are the data we have. So we can see it has a very small data set of 9 records and which has manager ID, job ID, and as of date. So let's first calculate the count of new jobs. So as we discussed, we can say that count of distinct manager ID as new job, and we discussed that in order to find the total count of active jobs, I can say that, hey, find the total number of records and then minus count of distinct manager ID, which basically will give you total count of active jobs. So when we run it, and we will get the count of, so there are 4 new jobs because there are 4 distinct managers are there and there are 5 active jobs. Now the second question is asking find the total count of new jobs, active jobs, and the reactivated jobs. Here the definition of new job will remain same. So whenever any manager posted their first job, we'll call it as a new job. But for the definition of active job has been changed. So what it means is that, so whenever any manager posted their next job within 180 days from the previous job, we will call it as an active job. But if any manager posted their next job after 180 days from the previous job, we will call it as a reactivated job. So in order to understand this, so let's see on the bottom. So I have created a fourth column, which is job underscore flag. So we can see that for job number ID, that is the first job for manager ID. So we are labeling as new. This manager has posted the second job on 31st of January, which is within 30 days difference. So I am calling as an active. Whereas the third job they have posted on 3rd of September, which is basically more than 180 days from their previous job, which is 101. So I'm labeling as a reactivated job. So in this way, we need to calculate how many total count of new, active, and reactivated. So the way I'm planning to solve this problem is to first create a subquery to create a job flag column, which basically store the labels, and we will derive this column using the lag of date functions across each manager. And then we find the difference of two dates, previous job and the current job, and then check the condition if less than 180 or greater than 180. Once we come to know, and then finally we will use a subquery table to do the aggregation and then find the total number of new active and the reactivated jobs. So let's see on the SQL how can we solve this problem. So let me run the select star again just to see the name of all the columns again. And now let's go one by one and I can show you the output for each of the subsets. So manager ID, job underscore ID as of date. So let's find the previous job date for each of the managers. So the way we can do is to use a lag Windows function, lag of as of date, partition by manager ID, order by as of date, and we can label it as previous date, previous, let's say, job date, and then run it. So let me put from, and we can see that the previous job date has been calculated for each of the manager. So we can see for 101, their current posting date is 2021 31st of January, and this column is telling the previous job date. So previous job date is 1st of January. So it's finding. So what the next thing what we can do is to find the difference between these two dates. So we can use date of difference, day, because we want to count the total number of days. Then we will subtract the 2 days. So, and let's call it days difference. And we can see now we are getting the number of days difference as well. So now based on this days difference, we can use a case statement and then label as new activate or active job or reactivated job. So let's say case when date or difference greater than 180, then let's say reactivated. Similarly, sorry, and then when less than equal to 180, let's say it's active, and then I'm just putting else new job, and then close it, and as let's say job flag. And let's see what output we will get here. And now we can see that we have got the job flag label as new job, activate, active, and reactivated. Now we will just use the aggregation function group by to count the total number of new job, active jobs, and the reactivated jobs. So let's say I'm putting this as from as A. Now A dot job flag, and then count of star, and now group A dot job flag. Now it's telling me that in this data set there are 3 active jobs, 4 new jobs, and 2 reactivated jobs. Now let's move on to the third question of this case study. So let me go back. So in the question number 3 on the bottom, it's asking find the total count of new jobs, active jobs, and the reactivated jobs for each manager. So basically definition are exactly same like question 2. Now in this question, it's just asking find for each manager how many they have activated, active jobs, reactivated, and new job. So it's very straightforward. We can just add another dimensionality, which is manager ID here. And in this way, it will give you for each manager ID how many total number of, let's say, and in this way it will tell me that across each manager how many active new job and reactivated and so on.